Hey, I thought I'd do a little dual-purpose video here. Thought I'd show some Swiftmaster gameplay and talk about some exciting announcements. Last night, the Japanese Toukiden Twitter account. Uh, I can't read that much Japanese. I can read some hiragana, and even that's kind of dried up a little bit because I took that class back in high school. But I could read enough. They had the word 60 FPS in there. So I went on the site, and apparently the PC port for Toukiden 2 is going to have 60 FPS, which is a pretty big deal. I've always felt that Toukiden, it played and it felt pretty good to play at 30 FPS. I played like almost 200 hours of that game on my Vita. I never even touched the console versions, and the frame rate was pretty stable even on the Vita version. So having it be at 60 FPS is pretty exciting. The main issue is that I don't know if I'll be able to get it at launch. Obviously, um, I was turned down for the Koei Tecmo, partnership program, and it looks like I'll be seeing my friends for my birthday. Or at least that's the plan. The plan is to go up there and go to Californiathon for one day. I may even be on the mic for Californiathon commentary. Someone wants me to do couch commentary for the Bouncer, which I only played that game for like half an hour back when it came out. That was before I even had a PS2. I had a neighbor who had one. So I don't know if I'll be able to get it at launch. What I was thinking of doing is once I get these new vitamins that will help with my hand pain, which the doctor basically said is it's either just carpal tunnel, overworking my hands, or stress and anxiety, or all three, which is not as bad as it sounds. It could be worse, and since I talked to them about it like 5 days after I got the pain, there's really nothing that they can't treat about it. If my hands are up for it, I wanted to run it by you guys if it would be okay if I did a fundraising stream for Toukiden 2 on PC. If I do buy the train ticket to go up there, even if it's one way, and then I factor in paying for the Californiathon, which I'm probably only going to go for one day. I have not been able to get confirmation from my friends if I can go, so that's kind of made things a little more difficult for me. I would not be able to get Toukiden 2 for quite a while, and I know people will want a port review, and I know with games like that, port reviews are kind of hard to find. I know I did one for One Piece and a bunch of other games in Berseria, and those got pretty good reception because obviously they're not like AAA massive games. The whole gaming release schedule right now is just bonkers. I mean, even me, I play almost exclusively niche games and indie games. I barely touch anything AAA, and there's a lot of stuff I've had to skip too. I had to skip Berserk. Nair is probably not something I'm going to do until the PC version is out, and even then, I'm kind of on the fence about that game because I've been very depressed. And I know Yoko Taro games have like they just pile on all the heart wrenching stuff, and I've got enough of that in my life right now. Even I have had to like cut back on all the releases and stuff. So if you guys are accepting of it, maybe I will just do a couple days or however long it takes to at least get some funds towards it to just get like the $53 or whatever it is for Toukiden 2. I'm pretty excited for it. I really enjoyed the first two Toukiden games. I thought I didn't really have much to judge them on. I had only played Monster Hunter for like 30 minutes before, and I just didn't like Monster Hunter because of how slow it was. And I played God Eater for a while, but the net play and the dumb AI kind of turned me off that game. I didn't really have much to judge it on, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm pretty excited for it. I hope that it will be a good port. I mean, the fact that they're already advertising 60 FPS tells me that it should be fine. But then, on the other hand, I'm hearing people are having trouble running Berserk on like monster computers that could run like open world games and stuff at like 60 FPS or higher. So I don't know what to expect. It is up to you guys. If I get a couple comments saying that people will at least come by, obviously, if you come by my stream, you're not obligated to help fund the game. But if people have any interest whatsoever in me doing some small events, probably playing this, whatever I have on PC and Vita, my capture card is still on the fritz. Then maybe I'll do it and try to just raise the extra funds that way. I'll probably play it as much as my hands can permit. It seems like I may have just pinched a nerve or I have carpal tunnel. I did play almost 100 hours of Berseria in like 2.5 weeks. So that's probably what is a contributing factor. Also, I am getting up there in years. I'm getting pretty old, so that's probably a factor as well. So I haven't been gaming that much. I took a break off for a week, and I just let the Berseria run play through. I did enjoy that run. It was fun to do. Chances are the run did not really directly cause the hand pain and stuff that I've had. It's probably just a contributing factor. And I have been very stressed and anxious too, and that can also cause muscle tension. Muscle tension makes it so your muscles have to work harder to operate, and that causes stiffness, and stiffness causes pain. So I've had to take it easy for a while, but let me know what you guys think. In the meantime, I have made a Swift Master on DFO. I was really excited for this class when I saw the Korean footage last year. They were a lot of fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the training dojo. Also, the event is pretty sweet. You get a pretty significant amount of nice equipment and stuff and bonuses for making a male mage. One of the new male mage classes. So you have this move here. Sonic move. Basically, you can cancel into this and out of this with anything. So you can do stuff like this. Pretty freaking sweet. So it's kind of like a hybrid melee and magical class. They have ranged moves, but they're also kind of encouraged to stay in close proximity because you get this sonic move, which has a pretty significant amount of hit stun. This particular monster does not have that much hit stun on the ground. You pretty much have to juggle him to really combo him. So the fact that you do this and he's still got like maybe half a second of third or maybe a fourth or a half a second of hit stun is pretty telling. Can actually see if I can spawn someone who has a more normal hit stun state on the ground. Ah, this guy. Like, you can see how long that hit stun is. So I'll go ahead and I'll do a map to close out the video. I just wanted to get some input from you guys. If people aren't really receptive to me doing a fundraiser for like 50 bucks, then I'll just find some other method of getting it. Borrow money off a friend or something. I don't really know how much funds I'd have for it next month either, simply because I'm probably going to be going back up to San Jose, regardless of whether I go up there for my birthday in 2 weeks or not. So I probably would want to put that 50 bucks towards that rather than Toukiden. I have the music off because I play my own music when I play this. After you've been through this leveling content a dozen times, you just don't want to hear the music much anymore. A lot of the I liked a lot of the old DFO music, and it's not necessarily nostalgia. They started, this game is like a smash hit. It still generates like millions and millions of dollars over a decade after it came out. So they made quote unquote more higher quality music, but it's the same thing that differentiates like music you hear in like indie games and Japanese games from the Western stuff, where it's mostly like heavily orchestrated and sounds more like a blockbuster movie. That's kind of how this game's soundtrack has gotten to a certain extent. I wouldn't really call it an extreme, but when they went and redid half the leveling content, they definitely made the music more higher quality, I guess you could say. pretty crazy that they put so much effort into these new classes. They have a pretty significant amount of new animation frames, which I was definitely not expecting. When they did the new thief classes a couple years ago, they really only added a couple new frames of animation. Pretty much everything else was recycled or repurposed from other moves. But there's a pretty significant amount of new animation they added for these classes. But I don't think the male mage has that many avatars, so I think the workload for them to add new animation is not as heavy as a lot of the older classes that have been around for longer. I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I think I'm actually going to turn my stream on now. But basically, I may or may not be going on vacation in 2 weeks. The Berseria run will probably be done playing out by the time that I leave. So I'll probably queue up some other stuff to entertain you guys. I would like to do Toukiden on launch, but money's going to be tight. So once again, if you guys are accepting of me doing a fundraiser for like 50 bucks to get the game, then go ahead and let me know, and I'll plan something out. It's probably not going to have too much structure. If people do want to support me to get the game, then I will probably do a request or something. But I do have to watch my hands. Even though it's just carpal tunnel, it is a little uncomfortable, so I've been cutting back on the gaming, and luckily there hasn't been too much going on right now. Nair I decided to skip, and Berserk as well, just mostly because of how much it would cost to get those games. That was even before I made that decision, even before I developed the mild hand pain and stuff. So let me know what you guys think. I'll probably put up some more raw footage of the Swift Master once I get him up to a higher level. Catch you guys later. Peace.